is KatLexis. You can call me Kat. That's K-A-T, no C. Not like those furry little monsters that I may or may not have an irrational fear of. I'm freshly 20 as of March 5th, and I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I've been an artist ever since I can remember. Wanna know what else I've been ever since I can remember? Homeless! Not the best punchline, I know. I want to tell you a little bit about my life, my vision, and why I'm making this video. I've got an idea, a big one that I've been sitting on for 5 years now, an idea that can help other homeless youth like myself and change a lot of lives. I've been dealt a hard hand of cards, but I plan on doing something for my own situation and the situation of many others. If you don't mind me yakking it up for a bit, I'll tell you all about it and how you can help. This all started in 2014. You'd think that the Big Easy would be perfect for an artsy-fartsy little so-and-so like myself, but Hurricane Katrina struck and my small family of 4 was forced to move to Houston, Texas when I was in the 3rd grade. There, I attended and graduated the high school for performing and visual art, a school that was host to several famous alumni like Shonda Rhimes, Matt Mullenweg, and Beyonce. Of our many concentrations, I attended as a visual arts student. So if my life sounds so great, then what's with this homelessness thing that I'm talking about in this video's title? Like I said, I graduated from HSPVA, but not without some difficulties. My mother, who had began to become physically, emotionally, and mentally abusive since I reached 12 years old, attempted to take my life halfway through my senior year. After that, it was either stay with her and risk another attempt on my life or get out of Dodge. That night, at the age of 17, I was officially kicked out of my home. I couch hopped for a few days and never missed a day of school, I'm proud to say. While staying with yet another friend, my mentor, a photographer who I'd only been interning with for about 4 months, offered me to stay in her home. She wanted to give me a safe place to live to make sure I finished high school. Unfortunately for the both of us, financial circumstances on both of our parts deemed continuing this arrangement impossible. January of 2017 marks 2 years of homelessness since being kicked out of my home. I've lived on various couches, motels, and a shelter in 4 different states. So what am I doing with this tragic, sad, inspiring story? Well, I've already written a book. 250 pages in only 7 days, mind you. I found out just how much Red Bull and Monster I could drink during that time. Well, I'm a firm believer in making something of yourself in light of any bad situation. I've got a million stories from living in so many different places and meeting so many interesting people and getting myself out of some sticky situations. I've got stories from my days as a student of the visual arts in a school that isn't too far off from something you'd see in Fame, experiences as a waitress with all kinds of difficult customers, and most importantly, my experiences as a homeless youth. You see, being homeless and young means that you're like a grain of sand through a filter. It's a demographic that is so poorly catered to that it's easy to fall through the cracks. If you're like me, for example, you have no parents to support you and as a result had to take up a job. But you can't get a job that will get you benefits and insurance and the ability to pay your bills because even if you have the required amount of experience, you're only a teenager and will not be taken seriously. So you get the same slew of suggestions to just get a job that's fun and more age appropriate, which is usually a minimum wage position or a job making less than $10 an hour. We have to pay for our own transportation, insurance, or out-of-pocket emergency medical costs in the likely event that we can't afford medical insurance, rent, utilities, clothes, etc. But wait, you yell, very disgruntled and offended about all these youngins holding out their hands for your help. If you just went to college, you could get a good job. Yes, of course. College. Oh wait, that's thousands of dollars a year, on top of all the aforementioned costs. Now what do we do in the meantime while attending college to pay for college to get a job that's supposed to help us pay for everything else? What about working a full-time job and going to classes at night, which lead to us walking home late in dangerous neighborhoods because we can't afford to live somewhere safe, because we don't have a college education, because we can't pay for it, because we don't have a college education? But there's student aid! You scream at the sun, trying to surpass the volume of the stubborn voices in your head. A lot of teens have no clue how to fill out a FAFSA form on their own, or even if they do, people like me who are experiencing trauma from the mistreatment we received at home are busy fighting the demons we have within ourselves. So many homeless youth and minors go without treatment from the PTSD, depression, anxiety, etc., all of which I have, that come as a result of beatings, sexual, emotional, and mental abuse. A lot of us end up in human trafficking and prostitution rings, addicted to drugs or alcohol, pregnant or dead. I want to do something about all of this. I was invited to speak in front of the Texas House of Representatives to get some bills that will help with the homeless youth and veteran crisis affecting the state. Did you know that it's illegal in the state of Texas to run away from home before the age of 18? That's right. If I'd have just left, as everyone swears they do if they were in my situation, I would have received a misdemeanor. I would have a criminal record for trying to escape with my life. It's not common knowledge, but there's a lot about this crisis that sweeps our nation that isn't. That's why I want to do what I'm proposing here. So I've been wanting to start an animation channel on YouTube for about 5 years now, which has resulted in about 5 years of researching the YouTube business model and popularity trends. YouTubers generate money in multiple ways. There's monetization, which is allowing ads to show at the beginning of your videos for one. With monetization, for every so many views on your video, you get a certain amount of money. For example, 1,000 views may generate a whole $1. This may not seem like a lot, but there are a lot more complicated elements to making money with YouTube. But it's clear why so many YouTubers are making bank in the 6-figure categories. Let's take a look at the YouTuber, The Odd One's Out. I've been following this guy for a while. He's 20 years old, but makes quite the living for himself. Let's say he posts more often than he actually does and posts a video once a week. In a day or two, because he's been on his grind and making comics alongside his videos, he generates 1 million views. That's $1,000. Add to the fact that he might post twice in a week, which means that he's made $2,000 in a week. I don't know his actual numbers, but this is an example anyway. Over the course of a year, that's a lot of money. Can I remind you that he's also only 20 years old? But wait, it gets better. You take big YouTubers like Jenna Marbles and PewDiePie and Smosh who have thousands or even millions of subscribers. Somewhere along the way, your channel becomes a worthwhile place to advertise, being that you have a big audience. That dollar amount per 1,000 can increase based on the amount of subscribers they have. So suddenly, they're at 50,000 subscribers and receiving $2 to $3 per 1,000 views. Then 4, then 5. They're getting $2,000 plus per video. 2 videos a week, 4 weeks in a month. That makes $16,000 a month. You think that figure is ridiculous, but YouTube analytics suggest that The Odd One's Out may make somewhere around $200,000 to $500,000 a year. He's only been at this for 2 years. The YouTubers that make money and are popular produce regular, interesting content. What I bring to the table are my unique and terribly hard to believe life experiences, traveling around and struggling as a homeless youth myself, but in a fun, animated format. A few other YouTubers do something similar to what I want to do. Swoozy06 tells all kinds of stories about living in California and began a series with very popular and hilarious stories of him working as a Disney park employee. Domix talks of his experience being an Asian Canadian immigrant who loves anime. The Odd One's Out. He has funny stories regarding his dog Poppy, I guess, and he killed some hamsters, but that's besides the point. The point is, all of these people are popular and funny because of their animation style, bouncy personalities, and stories that are unique to them and their human experience. Not all of my stories are going to be sad, So many YouTubers use their money to help others as well. They host charity drives. They answer Make-A-Wish requests from fans. I want to devote my money and time to bring attention to the homeless epidemic in America and across the world. I want to host blanket drives. I want to get more dentists and doctors to volunteer their services. I want people to be treated like people. I want a homeless team like me to tune into my channel and have hope. For them to see that they're seen by somebody and to know that their lives are valued and that there is a way to overcome. But I can't do any of that in my present financial state. I'm just barely pulling myself together financially, honestly, but I'm far from being okay. I don't have insurance. I haven't been to a doctor in almost 4 years. I have a toothache that keeps me up at night because I can't go to a dentist. I'm just now starting to be able to buy food regularly and put on a little bit of weight. I spoke earlier about the difficulties involved with being taken seriously in many workplaces because of my age. So I thought, why not make a job for myself? I want to work this whole YouTube thing, but I need a place to start. What I'm asking for is $5,000. Every penny donated will go towards 3 things: cost of living, equipment, and advertising. In addition, any money earned past the $5,000 that I'm asking for will be donated in supplies and resources to my local Atlanta Covenant House. For now, let's focus on the first 3. For our first expense, I'd love to entirely throw myself into working with my channel to produce the best content for my viewers that I can. I'd love to say that I have parents that are paying for school for me or a stable roof over my head so that I can spend as much time necessary carefully animating myself blinking, but I can't do that at present. As for equipment, I'd be purchasing a new pen-enabled monitor that would expedite my workflow. I work with traditional art as well, and I'd love to animate in different styles for you all, possibly involving watercolor and ink and paper cutouts. Lastly, placing Google ads, getting business cards printed. All this stuff is not cheap. Getting help with my production costs would be great. I first want to say that I really appreciate you all for watching all the way through this video. I've worked so hard on it. What you can do now is hit that donate button and contribute. If you can't, you can always share this video with a friend on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Google+, Christian Mingle, whatever it is that you guys use. And if you'd like to contribute and get some awesome swag after donating, you can also subscribe to my Patreon. Patreon is this fantastic service that allows fans to follow their favorite creators and pay a monthly fee of their choice to support them. By doing so, you may get early access to videos, exclusive downloadable content, or free access to any webcomics or publications that come as a result of my channel. Contributors can collectively receive reward for all of my viewers. For example, if I reach $1,500 in monthly donations, I could begin producing an extra video a week. At $2,000, I could quit my job and make 3 videos a week. At $5,000, I may be able to begin merchandising and so on. These are all just examples, of course. All these things may vary. All I've ever wanted to do was accumulate some kind of audience and use my pull to change the world. I don't want a huge house or a golden toilet or Yeezys. No offense, y'all, just not my style. I just want to help the homeless. It's not just youth. It's veterans, the elderly. It's people of all backgrounds and creeds, and it's awful. And I want to make it my life's work to change it, even if it's just one child. I want to make art so that I can make a difference. Thank you for watching, guys.